Very sad and tragic Sunday evening as tonight the Chicago Police Department is mourning one of their own. We've learned that an off-duty officer was killed overnight in the Gage Park neighborhood. 30-year-old Luis Huesca was in uniform returning home from his shift when he was shot multiple times near 55th and Kedzie. He was a 6-year member of the department and just 2 days shy of his 31st birthday. We have team coverage tonight of the shooting investigation and how Officer Huesca is being remembered. Let's begin first with NBC5's Regina Waldrop, who joins us now live at CPD headquarters. Regina.
Everett, at this hour, you have multiple law enforcement agencies working on this case. You have Chicago Police, the ATF, Cook County Sheriff's officers. They are all out there right now trying to find the person or persons who took this officer's life. Streets blocked. Detectives and canine teams have taken over. This is a look at the scene in Gage Park and the investigation into the shooting death of Chicago police officer Luis Huesca.
It's shocking, honestly. It's crazy to think about that happening in the neighborhood. It's also really sad. Chicago police say officers were responding to a shot spotter alert just before 3 a.m. in the 3100 block of West 56th Street.
That person shot. He's a police officer. I believe they took his gun also.
The shot spotter notification went out 5 minutes before the first 911 call came out. So that helped us identify the location, find him.
Police found Officer Huesca near his home. He'd been shot several times. His SUV stolen. We're told it was later found a few blocks from the scene, but police not confirming. They're also looking into whether this was a carjacking.
The officer was wearing his uniform. Obviously, he was wearing something that covered it up. But at this time, like I said, it's still at the preliminary stages right now.
First and foremost, my condolences go out to this officer's family because I can't imagine what they're dealing with. There's a couple points that I need to make with this video. Point number one is last week I made a video about holding people accountable. And I had people in the comments saying that, well, when are law enforcement officers going to be held accountable for their actions? Let me tell you, officers are held accountable every single day. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. There are officers in jail right now, arguably some who I think shouldn't be in jail, just simply because they were put in jail for political pressures at B, if I'm being quite honest. And let me tell you this, I'm one of those people that will tell you, I'll be the first to tell you, that there are some people that shouldn't have a badge and shouldn't have a gun. But there are more good police officers out there patrolling our streets than we've ever seen before. And so when I was talking about we need to start holding these people accountable, I'm talking about holding criminals accountable for getting away with what they're doing. There's no fear at all, zero fear. We have so many people that are being victimized every single day, this officer being one of them, because our criminal justice system and politicians have let us down. And so that's what I mean by holding people accountable. It's not saying that officers aren't held accountable, because we are held accountable. But it just goes to show that, look, the criminal justice system needs to hold everybody accountable as opposed to letting people go do what they want to do because of politics. The second point I want to make is, going back to politics, is that I also made a video about 2 or 3 weeks ago about how they were talking about removing ShotSpotter in Chicago because that's what the mayor promised he was going to do during his election campaign. Well, the only reason, or one of the only reasons why this officer was actually located was because of ShotSpotter. ShotSpotter actually was able to send a notification to officers 5 minutes before this call came out. Now, did it save the officer's life? It didn't. Why? Because this officer had been shot at over 30 times. I don't know if you guys realize that. He was shot at over 30 times and had everything jacked from him. But because of the ShotSpotter, they were actually able to start sending units that way and at least try to save his life before the first call ever came in. So again, going back to politics, this is why we need to start putting our politicians' butts to the fire and start saying, hey, look, hold people accountable. Start holding them accountable to the crimes they're doing. Start putting back a sense of fear into people's eyes and minds about not wanting to go out there and commit crimes because you know you're going to be punished for it. It's okay. We can still restore people and we can still help them out after they committed the crime, but at least hold people accountable and stop letting people out on zero bail. My heart goes out to this family, this officer. This is an officer that was gone too soon. He was only going to be 31 years old today, actually. He would have been 31 years old today by the time of me making this video. So it's terrible that we have to witness another situation like this and another officer's life that was lost too soon.